Hey friends, Miss Drews with your math this week. I'm going to put my math on a Tuesday since you had some work on your own on Monday. So if you're seeing this another day, it usually is Monday math, but we're going to do one now because this is the week where you get to show off what you know in your math. So I wanted to be able to put one in for your teacher to use, but I'm going to use mine on Tuesday, just so if you're in my class and you're seeing this, it's a Tuesday math. All right, so let's move on. So what I wanted to show you today and remind you is those equal groups and putting those equal groups together to think of the total, or the reverse of that, thinking of the total and splitting up in equal groups, okay? Because you're going to be, again, you've been learning it in your class, so I wanted to review it, but also you get to show off in your test this week. So I just kind of wanted to get those brains ready to show off those good things, okay? So I have a couple of, and I'm going to move my head over this way. I've got these two slides here that I'm going to go over, okay, that are going to be where you can do them with me. And then all the slides after that, okay, it has a you try and you're going to do it. And I have these two that look similar because they're going to be similar where I have I have equal groups and then I have to put them together. And the ones that look down here, they are a you try it. That means you do it, obviously. Okay, but they look a little different border because those are the ones that are kind of, you should be telling your brain, hey, switch, and I have the total, and then I'm splitting them up. Okay, so if you're kind of curious of why they look that way, I did it for a reason, I promise. All right, so looking at your first one, this is the first kind of slides that are looking like the numbers here. Okay, but this is mine that I'll show you. You've got 7 groups of 3 is okay, like if I had 7 groups of something and there were 3 in each group, how many are there altogether? Okay, so there's a couple different ways I can do this. Okay, on Kami, you can draw pictures and you can draw your groups and things like that. But I wanted to show, because I know in our virtual classes, especially when we're at home, we've been trying to remember some things and getting some things that work best for you. So again, you can draw it in Kami. That's why it's here and you can draw it. Okay, so you can draw your groups. But I'm going to switch tabs and show you in case you're on virtual, or even if you're in class and you want to use something online and your teacher's okay with that, then you can. Okay, so I'm going to open up a tab that I'm going to remind my kiddos. And when I go to Schoology, I can use my math tools, okay? And most all of the second grade teachers have something on your Schoology. Now, yours looks different because you might not be in my class, but you're going to go into math tools. And I opened up the base 10, okay? And these are sent from, I think, Ms. Espinoza from the beginning of the year, okay? So like I said, most second grade teachers still have it on there like I do. All right, so I'm going to kind of look at this tab and I'm going to look, okay, 7 groups of 3 is, So I can go here and I can use my 10s and 1s, okay? So I'm going to leave that over there for a second. Okay, 7 groups of 10. So I've got 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? 7 groups of 3. So watch what I'm going to do here. Make it a little bit easier. Okay, so I've got my 7 groups now. I'm going to use my drawing tool because I'm going to use that over there in a minute. Okay, 7 groups. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All these 7 groups have 3. So I can kind of just do dots on my 10s and 1s here on my screen, and it makes it a little bit easier. Then I can go count them up. Okay, if you want to draw differently on your whiteboards or on your paper or on Kami, you can as well. Okay, but if I do this on my little 10s and 1s, okay, it might make it a little bit easier. Okay, so then I can go count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Then if I'm like, oh, wait, what comes next? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So whenever I get stuck on all those different countings and things, then I can kind of put them together different ways or count them however you need to. Okay, but once I have my answer, then I'm going to go back and I can write in my answer 21. But I'm in my slides right now, so I'm not gonna write it. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you that's one way that you can do it. Okay, I'm going to show you another way on the next one. So again, I can draw it. All right, I can use things in my classroom, or I can go to my base 10 and I can get out my 7 groups, which I just made 10s for. And then I went my little dots, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, because when I have equal groups, 7 groups, each one's going to have 3, then I'm going to think of the total. Okay, now once I have that, I am going to type that because I do need to type something. Okay, 21. Okay, then I want you to do the repeated addition. Okay, so if you think about what you just did, either with me or on your own, I basically went this group plus this group plus this group. I added all those groups together. I'm doing it again and again and again. So I went 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. I added 3 7 different times. Okay. So over here, you're going to be able to write 7. Oh, come on. Number block. Oh, number block gets me every time. So I'm going to add, 3 7 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is 21. Okay, and that's what I always do. I keep going, and then I'm like, wait, gosh, especially with repeat addition. But remember, repeated addition. Not only sometimes I get off on my counting, but it's a lot to write. So I could do the fast way with my multiplication, and it says bonus. Okay, so it's okay if you're not able to do all of the multiplications. But remember, if instead of going plus, 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 I can be really cool, lean to the side, and do my multiplication. So again, when I'm adding groups all together, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, not only does that take a long time, but I'm going to be super cool and lean it to the side and put my my multiplication. Okay, so that is 7, excuse me, coughing on your camera. 7 groups of 3 is 21. Okay, 7 groups of 3 is 21. And remember, with multiplication, it's just like addition. It's okay if you flip-flop them. So 3 groups of 7 also are 2, by the way, side note. Okay, so there's your first one for your example. The second one is the opposite of that. Okay, the second one is a little bit of words going on, and we're going kind of the reverse. It's not going to ask you for the multiplication. It's not going to ask you for the repeated addition. I want you to act it out like I'm about to say, okay, or use the tens and ones, and I'll show you too, or draw. Okay, now there are some things to kind of go, oh, that kind of reminds me of a repeated addition, and it might help you, but I'm going to show you the way just in case you're not sure of. Okay, so don't worry about putting down what multiplication you're using or repeated addition for these. That's why there's nothing on there. Okay, when I have a whole group and I want to put it into equal groups to find out how to meet your group, it's a little bit different. It's backwards. I'm sharing it or I'm dividing it. It is division. Okay, but I don't need to worry about the algorithm. All right, so on this one, there's 10 total. And if there are 5 equal groups, how many does each group get? I'm going to take that 10, like I just acted out. I'm going to pass it out, one for you, kind of like cards, right? Like last week. Okay, and I'm going to keep passing out all those 10 cards until I have no more cards left. And then each group, I get to see how much they have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and I'm going to see if this will work on my screen. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just use things that are in my classroom, just like you are using it here in Gaddis, or if you're at home. If you're at home, you can just go grab whatever you want for your math tools. Like I just had random lots of popsicle sticks. You might have random lots of like for real money. You might have random cotton balls. Go outside, find some rocks. Okay. They're all math tools. So I'm going to use popsicle sticks. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my problem. 10 total, 5 in each group. So I'm going to count out 10 popsicle sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't look at my old hands on there. Okay, so I've got 10 popsicle sticks. Okay, then I'm going to start putting them into equal groups, but I have to put them into, let me see. There are 5 equal groups. So I'm going to start my 5 equal groups. So here's my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got 5 groups. But I still got all these out here. I got to pass them out. So 1 for this group, 1 for this group, 1 for that group, 1 for that group, 1 for that group. Ta-da! All passed out. Okay, I've still got 5 groups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's still 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so I've got everything that I need. And I always double check that way, by the way. I always double check and count. Because then when I go back, 10 total, 5 equal groups, I got it. But my question is how many in each group? This group has 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So my answer is there's 2 in each group. Okay, so you're going to have some problems that look like this on the red slides. All right, so I kind of went over both kinds, and I know that this is a review for us, but I wanted to kind of show you, not only remind you the ways that you can do it, but maybe even thinking of like using the popsicle sticks today, some things that are in your house, remember to use. All right, my friends, see you next time.